I hate to break this to you, but the people in Washington are just pretending to govern. Did that shock you? It didn't, right? Because you've seen them. You can watch them on C SPAN doing their act. It's all flash, big gestures, overwritten speeches, hours of empty pontification, and an endless march of visual aids. Seriously, so many visual aids. Really, just why is that necessary? What even is that? Washington is a land of make believe. It's full of bad actors with bad makeup, where, in an amazing coincidence, every problem is somehow always the other party's fault. Where any social issue can be solved by either promising a giant new government program or by getting rid of government altogether. Take your pick. Why doesn't anyone in Washington do anything to actually help this country, like give permits to fix infrastructure or approve a new drug? Well, that would mean taking responsibility. What if it didn't work out? There's always some group that won't like the decision, so it's better to just talk tough on camera and keep holding meeting after meeting to put off doing any real work for as long as possible. Maybe there's something in the water in Washington. People there don't seem eager to actually solve problems, they just talk about it. It's become part of the culture. See, the culture of a place drives behavior. Governments, just like schools and companies, succeed and fail in part because of the kind of culture they foster. In good cultures, people pitch in, take responsibility, and hopefully get results. In bad cultures, people just look out for themselves. They're quick to assign blame and are disinterested in joint purpose. In a bad governing culture, leadership is almost impossible. No one trusts anyone to act in the public's interest, so no one is willing to compromise or make deals. If anyone stands up to try to do what's right, they're dragged down by a dozen others trying to score political points or just maintain the status quo. Sounds like Washington, right? Unfortunately, bad governing cultures almost never fix themselves, even when the writing's on the wall. This is why bad governments are rarely reformed, they're toppled by revolutions. The good news is that the culture in the rest of America is not like the culture in Washington, any more than the culture in France is like the culture in England, or the culture in King's Landing is like whatever, Mos Eisley. They're completely different. America is great largely because of its can-do culture. That's the culture our government needs to reconnect with. A culture of people who work together, roll up their sleeves to get things done, and speak truth to power. A culture that seems to exist everywhere except in our nation's capital where we need it most. So, why don't we just move the capital out of Washington? I'm serious, move the capital, or at least most of it, somewhere else. In the internet age, it would not be that hard to move agencies to different cities all across the country. It seems to work all right for NASA and the CDC. Move the FDA to San Diego or Boston, where the scientists are. The Department of Agriculture could move to Denver. Transportation, put it somewhere in the middle. Some experts could stay with the agencies, but most employees would be new people who actually like taking responsibility. Then maybe something will actually get done. As for Washington, turn it into a theme park. Hire all the bureaucrats and lobbyists left behind to do just what they're doing now, pretending to govern. It's already a land of make-believe. We might as well sell tickets and churros.